Okay. So, welcome everybody. We we thought that this would be a good format to use because everybody is all over the United States right now, and trying to come in would be difficult. So we thought this would be a good format. I had a client that did this. His wife did it for him, and it really turned out pretty well. Everybody was able to be nice and comfortable in their own home, and be able to share some stories. So I wanted to just before we get going, wanted to just you should be able to see um, this obituary for my mom, and I was actually going through a lot of like scrapbooks and things today, and was just really impressed with her life. I mean, all the different things that she accomplished. And, it said that she's the daughter of a coal miner, and I think that that's pretty important to her. She she was um, she always had a desire to get back and meet with her dad again. And I know that her mom and dad kind of split up when she was a teenager, and she felt like she didn't have a real good opportunity to say goodbye to her dad when he passed away from a mining accident. So that's one of the things that she had hoped for. But uh, in some of the material I was going through today, it showed uh, my mom with Rita Hayworth and Deborah Carr as film doubles, and then there was another picture of her just sitting with a whole bunch of girls that she had in her modeling studio, and and then I'll never forget the tomato farm that she had in Canyon City. She was always
Oh,
trying to make money some way or another, and then she even it says fruit stand owner, and that's when up by the Royal Gorge, she took watermelons and sliced them up, and then sold pieces of watermelon to people that would come in. So she was able to reinvent herself a number of times, and she was always, studying the Bible. That was huge to her. And she even was rebaptized at age 94, which was, I know, very, very important to her. So just a lot of really cool things that she did with her life. She was an author. She did lasting memories, and 14 grandchildren, um, four great grandchildren, and of course 40 great grandchildren, and then three children, Craig and Linda and myself. So, so what we thought we'd do is just kind of share a few memories um, of her, just things that come to your mind. Um, Maybe Linda, could we start with you?
oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, I do have a lot of memories because, you know, let's see, my mom she was very dependent on me when I was young. And so I've been with my mom forever and always been a mentor to my mom. And I would have to say, things that I've learned from my mom, I learned how to be a good mother. I learned how to be a good wife. And I learned these things not necessarily because my mom was that way, but she taught me how to do. I took a different path, and the path that I took, I felt I've been so blessed, so very blessed. And the things that I saw, and we can all do this, if you see things that are wrong or you think life needs to be a certain way and you didn't get that, well, you know what? The Lord knows that. And He provided those trials for you and those experiences for you so you can go through that and learn from that. And so I learned a lot from my parents, and I was grateful for the mom that I had. I was grateful for the dad that I have because the Lord worked through that so marvelously in my life. And so I would say, and for my mother, she was very ready to go. You're right, Scott. And the one thing that she did have at the end of life was peace. And that's something that she didn't have a lot in her life. So at the end, just don't wait for that at the end of your life to have peace. You can have it anytime. And I'm grateful that I was able to see that. I'm thankful my mom was able to come to the Lord at well, when she was older, she came to the Lord, and I'm grateful for that. And I think that the Lord worked mightily in her life. And sometimes we think that Mom always had a certain way. Well, why doesn't this happen for me? Why doesn't that? And I said, Mom, just give it time. God works in His time, not your time. And so I think that she learned that at the end. And when she died, we were there. And it was pretty much the last of any talking that she got. I know you guys got some talking when she was there, but Steph and I were there at the end, and Mom had peace, and I know that. And so that was a real blessing to be able to see that. And she was able to, I think Mom was just waiting till the end to tie up some loose knots that she needed to do. And then right after that, I mean, she went so fast. And I was grateful for that too, because my mom was a very vivacious person. And so for her to be sick very long would have been not good.
Right.
So, I am grateful for all that my mom taught. And the one thing that she was very compassionate towards the disabled. And one of those people was Dwayne. You boys remember Dwayne? Yes.
Mhm.
And so he was retarded, and he worked at doing the tomato farm. Which one of you boys was there? Well, we did that tomato farm. My mother, any project she got, whether it was watermelon, whether it was her books, we were always involved in that. And so, anyhow, but she had Dwayne over, and I remember we got in a big tomato fight at the end when all the tomatoes were rotten and everything, and Dwayne was in there, and all mother, that was just in her glory. She
Yeah.
did like to have fun, and she was very compassionate towards Dwayne. And so, I'm grateful that now she has the answers to, and now I can just see her smiling up there. Yes, you were right. And, and Linda, I can see everything. And yes, the Lord did it perfectly. So that's all I have to say.
Okay. All right.
Very good.
Was that, who was that? Was that Craig? No? Okay. Um, in just the research that I was doing, I came across this little letter that was written, and it was written 28 years ago, and it's from Jessica, and it says, "My grandma." She said, "For days before, I was always looking forward to the upcoming Saturday. My cousins, sisters, brother, and I were going to our grandma and grandpa's house. They were going to take us to the circus. I wasn't just excited about going to the circus, I was excited about going to be with them. My grandma and I would always sit down and talk for hours. She is the kind of person that you could talk to, go shopping with, go skating with, and other fun activities. She's tall with light brown hair and very beautiful. I love being with her because she's really outgoing and just a lot of fun to be with. Before we went to the circus, my grandma and I went to the store and bought pounds of licorice, lemon drops, gummy bears, and all other kinds of candy to eat during the circus. When we were at the circus, we loved the smell of popcorn and cotton candy, the sounds of the circus clowns, but most of all, we loved the company of each other. And Jessica, you sent a little message over that you had something else you were going to remember her by. What was that? You got to unmute yourself. Jess,
Okay.
unmute. There you
Hi.
go.
Um, Sorry, Dad. What did you say that I had something else to say?
You had something else that you were remembering Grandma by.
Oh, well, I was, yeah, I'd love to share a couple things. I wrote some things down. That's funny. I haven't heard that little thing about the circus. I don't know where you found that. So that
Yeah.
was a long time ago. But that was fun to remember. So I just wrote something down. So I'll just read it.
Okay.
It says, my earliest memories with grandma usually all include doing something exciting, a little bit out of the ordinary, like Aunt Linda was saying, with just tomato fights. And, it's always something kind of fun and kind of crazy. But things that brought us immense amount of joy, smiles, and laughter. Some of these memories included grandma somehow organizing fashion shows at random department stores and having her granddaughters strut down the aisles as her models. We were on cloud nine and thought that we were celebrities. Afterwards, many events like these, our rowdy crew would show up at Shoney's to eat. That was her favorite place for a while. We'd always go to Shoney's. But instead of just sitting down quietly and eating, we'd go grab the brooms and the mops at the store, and we'd prance around the restaurant, sweeping and mopping and singing into the handles like they were our microphones. And Grandma would just be laughing and cheering us on instead of, telling us to sit down and be quiet, like most other grandmas probably would. She just loved having fun with us and just being silly. And other memories I will always hold dear are when we got to sleep over at grandma's. That was always just some of the best memories I have. Amber, Christina, Steffi, and I would play dress up in all of grandma's silky robes and nightgowns. And we'd put on our high heels and then we'd go strut to the mailbox to get the mail, pretending to be fancy little ladies, just like we thought she was. She would paint our nails and she would let us use all her makeup and all her jewelry. And we just had so much fun doing that. And then oftentimes we'd end the night in a big bubble bath in her heart-shaped bathtub. So there's not very many people in life that have heart-shaped bathtubs, but grandma did, of course.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
So
well,
holidays were also no exception to the fun and excitement. Grandma and Grandpa always made sure to dress up like Santa and Mrs. Claus or to put on some type of parade of sorts, and it brought so much delight and joy to us when we were little. The parades didn't stop even after I was married and had children of my own. There were so many holidays where we'd be together, where she would bust out a big old bag of all her odds and ends. She probably had just gone and had a heyday at the dollar store, her favorite place. And um, we'd be doing something really. Oh, can you turn that off? Uh, we would we would end up just, doing something silly. My husband learned. Oh, do you want to go get the boys? Sorry. Crazy, crazy children. Hey guys, hold on. Yeah, but anyways, after I got married, even Travis, he would, she would dress up my husband and have him prancing around with some crazy turkey on his head or, something that it was just little things, but it really did. Liam, everybody can hear you. Say hi. There's a huge video. Um, but it's just stuff that, it was small, but it wasn't. It made such a big impact when I was growing up and in my childhood, and I just have the fondest memories ever of growing up with my grandma and grandpa and my cousins and just all of the amazing memories that we have. And I guess the the biggest thing that I feel like I've learned from grandma is how important connection is. I think that more than anything, she just wanted connection with people. She loved being a friend and making new friends, and she loved calling everybody, and she, wrote her book all about her stories, and so that she could connect with people, and so that we'd always have those stories to connect to her. And she is, I mean, we all know grandma when she get a little feisty with us. She'd call us get a little feisty, but really it was just because she just wanted us to call. She just wanted to call, and she wanted us to call her more, and because she loved us so much, and she yeah, she kind of just taught me that, sometimes she'd say, you've got time for me. Put down whatever you're doing. You need to make time for me. And she was right that we sometimes, I think, let a lot of things get in the way of people and what's important. And sorry, oh my goodness, my child. Um and anyway, I'll just always remember how much she just loved to love people and to make them feel special and to connect with them, and how much I have learned in my life because of her example with that. So, anyways, those
Thanks.
are just some things.
Thanks, Jess. And what was her favorite food?
Oh, ice cream. I was planning to have all of us have bowls of ice cream during this because and my dad's the same way. They
Yeah,
love eating bowls of ice cream every single day.
not
It's
every day.
amazing she lived to 95 because I think she had a bowl of ice cream every day of her life.
I'd like to eat a bowl of ice cream every day, but Debbie won't let me. So,
I care about him.
so Stephanie, can you unmute and do you have a little something to share? You were so instrumental in, especially in her care. You were just over there all the time. Stephanie works in she's like a brain surgeon, and well, close. You tell the brain surgeons what to do. So, but she would. Anytime my mom would have to go to the hospital, Stephanie would be there. She'd take care of her. So, Steph,
It was nice to have her close by. It was nice to have her up here in spring so that anytime anything happened, I could be close by and could help with that. But one of the things, I mean, Jessica talked a lot about some of our early memories as kids. So I think I would echo a lot of those sentiments. Jessica, I remember all the pool time with the tiki torches and how special they would always make it for us anytime that we would have our sleepovers together there, and the egg face mask and all of those fun things that Grandma would do for us. But one of the things I was remembering with the kids is over the past about 3 years since Grandma's been up in the Springs, we've really made it a point because as you spoke, Grandma was very, very big on connections and us having our time together and when am I going to see you next? When are we going to talk next? So for the past about 3 years, every month, the girls and I have taken grandma out for some little adventure, whether it be to go get donuts in the morning or ice cream in the evening or out for dinner. And that's been like something very, very special for my girls to be able to experience too, because I really wanted them to get to know their grandma and how fun and all the great memories that we have about her. But Adelaide, one of the funny memories that I was trying to think of grandma, I know Mom, you kind of talked about how grandma was very ready to go at the end.
Yeah.
And I think it was last summer, maybe the summer before, we had taken her out for dinner. Jessica, we took her out for ice cream because she never a dinner was complete unless we went out for ice cream too. And then she wanted to go for a drive. So she said that she had never been back behind Brookdale on Gold Camp Road. So she told us that
Oh,
she wanted to go on Gold Camp Road. And for those of you that know my husband was the one driving. And he was getting a little crazy with her driving. Grandma was talking, kind of getting down on herself about how she was ready to go. And when it was her time, she was just ready to be done. And Jeremy like pulls over to the side of the cliff super fast, and Grandma throws her hands up in the air, grabs onto the handlebars. She's like, "No, not today. I'm not ready right now." So Jeremy slowly takes her back down. But I mean, Grandma was quite vivacious, as Mom said, and we have a ton of good memories with her. Anything that you want to talk about for Grandma? We had a lot of ice cream times with Grandma, huh?
Come on,
Um,
Adeline.
but yes, we loved our grandma very much, and we're glad for her in this next phase of life and all the things that she was able to accomplish during her time frame. And I'm glad for the time that my kids got to experience her with her as well. So that's what I have.
okay. All right. Amber.
She's muted. They're doing such a good job of covering all these little memories. Um, one of one of my favorite childhood memories of grandma. I actually don't know where we were going. I think we were possibly going out on like a boat out on Pueblo Lake or something, like a little ferry, or I don't know. I remember these boat rides that she used to take us out on. And before we went there, we went to Walmart to get snacks. And as we're leaving Walmart, she made us stop outside the store and stop people that were going in and out of the store and tell them to smile.
Oh,
And
God.
so she stop them and say, "Smile. It's a beautiful day." And all
Oh.
these people, we had to stop and say smile, stop and say smile. And, she just wanted, she was so full of life. And I think despite she had kind of a little bit of roller coaster emotions at times, but deep down inside, I think that she really just desperately wanted to be so happy all the time. And I think that's what she was trying to teach us through all of those fun memories, was to be joyful and to find joy in the little things of life. Like, it doesn't take a lot to find joy. And I feel like she was really good at pointing that out for us. But as as we moved on and moved out of state and things, we were able to have her come out and visit a few times out to Utah. And we had so much fun. And my kids, we would go back and visit her in Colorado too, but she was also able to come out here, and she still instilled a lot of the traditions with our kids that she did with us, like dollar store trips. She always remembered birthdays and would send a little stuff at Christmas. And just a couple years ago, I have this gigantic stuffy in my, like, moose stuffy that she acquired for my children at some store. And there it is. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this gigantic stuffy? But it's from grandma. So we're gonna always keep that. But and I think a little bit, Jessica was talking about, sorry, about connection and things. And she would talk a lot about how desperately she wanted to see her dad again, because he died when I think she was 14 or 15 years old, um and how badly she wanted to get to know him and meet him. So I'm really grateful that she has that opportunity now to really get to know her dad. But it's kind of made me think about how we really need to treasure the time that we have with the people that we love while they're here, because we really don't know when our times are going to come. And I have a little, like,
Buddy.
robot man here next to me, but
Hey,
yeah. Anyway, so those are some of the things that I'm gonna always remember and take away with grandma in addition to all the other things and memories that were mentioned. So,
That's really cool. I don't know if you can see this, but this is just a picture of her. She was so proud of her dad, the coal miner, that he only had a second grade education, and he went to school. His parents enrolled him in school. His dad was a coal miner. They had come over from Italy, and my grandpa went to school, and he was so embarrassed because they could see cardboard coming out of his shoes. And he said, "I'm never going to go to school again." And yet, when he was able to save enough money to eventually buy his own coal mine and run that coal mine, and then passed away from a coal mining accident. But my mom was always very impressed with the work that her dad did. So let's see, and where there's Jennifer. Jennifer, do you have something you want to say, or should we go on? Okay, okay, you gotta unmute.
Uh-oh.
Okay, maybe while she's doing that, let's see.
Sorry, we're having a little bit of a meltdown here, so I might not be
Oh,
the best person to pass to right now. Come back to me.
anybody with kids, they get meltdowns. So. Well, we'll move on to Alicia. And Alicia, I know you've got some things that you wanted to say, and then a little bit of that video that you interviewed Grandma and Grandpa with.
Yeah, I could. Do you want me to do that now, or do you want me to open
No,
it up to everybody and then I can do that last? Or
no,
do you,
just go ahead. Well,
we're, okay.
yeah,
Oh, all right. Well, yes, like the other granddaughters, don't even know where to begin with all of Grandma's just hilariousness. Um, I remember I wrote down parties. She loved to throw parties in her backyard.
yeah.
She would always have me and Lisa and Jennifer sing at the parties, and she would bring out her karaoke machine, and we were the entertainment, and she was so proud of us, so proud of her family. And we would all go to the dollar store and get, decorations, and we would help her decorate, and we just looked forward to it so much. And she would have all of her neighbors and friends come over, and it really was so fun. So again, that connector piece that so many of us have talked about. She also the stories, the legacy was just totally about family. And a part of the videos that I left out, because it was getting too long, the very last portion of my interview with her, I said, "Is there anything else you want to leave with us?" And she said how important it was that family kept getting together and kept connecting. And as I think back on her life, and one word that comes to mind for Grandma is resilience. I look at everything she went through, and to lose her dad, I thought was she 10 or was she
She
how
was
old?
13. I think
13.
13.
Yeah, to lose her dad and a lot of confusion with the family, and um to live with a lot of the questions she lived with. Um I find her to be a woman of a lot of great resilience, and through it, learning how important it was to have healthy families and strong family bonds. And that was really part of her legacy, that she wanted so badly for her family to continue trying to live that on. So, and she talks about that in her book as well. Um, and then just an absolute love of life when I had her out here in Georgia. Gosh, it'll be 3 years ago in May or 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago in May. But I'm a Colorado transplant to Georgia. I'm not super thrilled about being here, but here we are. And she would just say, "Oh my gosh, Alicia, this place is beautiful. Look at all the trees." And anywhere I drove her, it was, "This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful." And anyway, it just helped give me a different perspective on life and that you can find beauty really anywhere you are. And I know that she wanted me back in Colorado too, but she really was super helpful in me feeling like, okay, I can make anywhere home. And then the dollar store runs, yes, she was never forgot a birthday or Christmas. And my daughter Caroline um, still asks when she's going to be sending her more money for the dollar store. So she would send her the cutest little cards and money for the dollar store. And now every time we go in the dollar store, we remember her and we would take her there when we go to Colorado. We go to the dollar store, grandma, and she would just say, "Get Caroline anything she wants." So anyway, she just had this entrepreneurial spirit that I think came from her dad and this love of life. She wanted to experience absolutely anything she could. And I think that's what got her down so bad at the end of her life. She couldn't do and grow and be making an impact like she liked to. And I'm sure she's doing it on the other side now. I know she is. So anyway, that is, and another thing that she used to do, she had a gorgeous backyard, her and grandpa, and she would go and tell me, "Go sing in the backyard, sing to the birds, sing to everything." And she would make me go out there and sing to everything, sing, 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 sing. And it seemed so crazy, but it also was just her, like no inhibitions, just a love of life, and happiness. So anyway, I will share a little bit about of the videos that I have whole hour and a half recordings of her. Okay, help me. Okay. It's been 4 years since I've shared anything. No, not playing an hour and a half now. Okay. Is this the one?
Yeah.
Is this the grandma one? Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's number one.
Yes, number one. Okay. Can you all see that?
Yep.
And so anyway, God really showed me and gave me a lesson that I never forgot. And my lesson was that I broke my big toe, so I had to wear a boot. Well, I don't know if you've ever worn a boot, but they're very hard to wear. And so I was not really happy about it, but that's the only thing you could do is wear a boot. And so I was coming home from lunch, and I got out of the car, and I was in a hurry to get inside, and I fell, and I broke my leg, the other leg. So I was having one leg bad, and then one toe that was causing me problems, and so I couldn't do any walking at all except just a short distance. And so that's when I became interested in knowing the Lord. And that I took from Genesis all the way
And
to
the reunion, that helps you too. That reunion we had up there in Monument, not Monument, but Fountain.
And so I loved going to Christian retreats and things like that. But this was my time special with the Lord. And so I went through the front and the back, and that's when I found the Lord.
Going through the whole Bible.
going through the whole Bible, and it never stopped. I just cherished it. And I thought that was the most miracle I've ever received. And how it happened that I had to break both things to come to the Lord. But God
But
showed
God
me.
operates in strange ways.
Yeah, God does.
Yes, God works in mysterious.
So, Alicia,
One,
did you,
got
there you
one,
go.
we've got one more.
Okay.
Okay, I'm muting now.
What is your recipe for staying close to the Lord every day?
Well, mine is when I open the blinds and I look out into the sky and I see blue skies all around. That is a happiness. And if it's cloudy, go outside, walk outside, and find just a teeny little crack of blue. And thank God for that little piece of crack that's blue.
That is beautiful.
Be happy, smile a lot. And, sometimes people think you're kind of crazy or, kind of nuts or
That's their
whatever.
problem.
But no, the thing is that you don't have to be like other people. Smile anyway. You might be hurting your heart, but you can show it in your face that you're happy because God is right there with you. Thank you for asking us to do this.
Okay.
That's awesome, Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia.
Yeah. Thanks for thanks for sharing that. And I know we got to go through the whole hour and a half, but we'll do that at the end of this meeting. No, we won't. So Jennifer, are you at a point now
Yes,
where
we
the
should be
screaming is
stable.
okay?
Yeah, no, I think just kind of what everyone has been saying, the same sentiment of Grandma was very lively and always wanted to have everyone be having a lot of fun and lots of sleepovers with the nightgowns and parties where she would have everyone come over, and Alicia, Lisa, and I would do performances, and she'd always be wanting us to be doing fun things together. So she was a great light in that regard and always a good motivator to get outside your comfort zone and do things that felt uncomfortable, but you had fun while doing them. I'll keep it short.
Okay. All right. So uh Jane, Susie, um, Anne, any comments that you'd like to make?
Yes, yes. Hi, can you hear
Hi,
me?
Jane.
Hi. I would just like to say that your mom would call and talk to me and talk about family reunions always.
Always.
And she wanted to always have another one. When she and Cecil were first married, they came up to visit and we took them up to Lake George, and she wanted a family reunion there like the next year. She was on it. She talked about it. And then when she would call or when I would call her, she would always speak of family reunions, getting together, wanting the connection like everyone's talking about, which was really sweet of her. She sent me a beautiful leather-bound Bible, just gorgeous. She sent me pamphlets on how to be a better woman and just little gifts, maybe from the dollar store. I don't know, but she really wanted to connect, and it was so nice of her because it was kind of like for me in the end, it was kind of like another mom. She would call and just reach out, and it was very, very sweet. And I really enjoyed talking to her and and just learning about her view of life and God and being positive.
That's so cool. Let's see. Where's Susie?
I'm here.
There you are.
I'm here. I don't have a lot to add, but I think the one thing that um I saw from your mom was she would call my dad, and my dad was a tough nut, and she would call him and talk about the flowers and the gardens, and I just think she did rile that in him to just kind of look at a little bit of more the positive side. So yeah, she was, I think, a sweet woman to keep working with my dad and keep getting him on the phone and all that stuff. And even with Mary Lou. So I think that was
Yeah.
special. So yeah, that's my memory for your mom.
I think you're 100% right there. She got so excited when she could have a call with you or with your dad and Mary Lou. And so and Mary Lou's like the last one left.
I know.
So so speaking of Mary Lou, let's go up to Gary. Gary there in Arizona with that great tan.
Unfortunately, this is from our grandfather, this tan. So,
Okay.
Mary Lou, I was there last Friday. She's in assisted living 24 hours. And she has some problems with her memory. And, but she's still going strong right now. I don't really have a whole lot to add to how she's doing. The dementia is pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
can I intercede something here?
You can, I did.
Huh?
Go ahead,
Yes.
Linda.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that, because I wanted to tell you this is the first, that last week John called and Aunt Mary Lou wanted to talk to me. And
Oh,
I
nice.
couldn't believe it. She sounded pretty good.
You
she
know,
said she was having a good day. So I thought, wow.
yeah, you're right. I've seen the same thing where
Yeah.
she's really lucid
Yeah.
and right on top of stuff, and then the next minute she's,
Yeah.
not there.
That's the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And how
I'm
old
the
is she
same
now?
way.
Gary,
98.
how old is she?
98.
98. Well, she's gonna hit that 100 mark she's been looking for.
She's tough, just like your mom.
Yeah.
She wants to hit 100. There's no doubt in my mind she won't.
Right. Well, let's move to Becky. Hey, Beck.
Hey,
You're
Linda,
muted.
I'm really glad that you had a good conversation with my mom. That makes me happy.
Yeah. It made me happy.
Well, I am glad to be here. I am so sad about her passing, but happy to hear how ready she was and everything. So I did write a few things down that I do want to read. But first of all, I want to thank her so much for coming into our lives, including my dad's and my Aunt Vivian's, and because I know that they weren't allowed to play a lot when they were younger. So after whoever passed away, I'm glad that she opened the gate and put the families together. So I love her for that. I know my dad, her and Cecil always did a lot together. I think they were trouble, but we may never know. Um, I do want to share a kind of a funny story that I always remember Lori and my Aunt Vivian. Um, these old ladies just, I don't think they realized that they were old because they were both young at heart all the time. But we were at Michelle's wedding, who is my cousin. We were in Salt Lake City and we were in the hotel room and um, Lori, I think my sister and we were going down the hallway and we saw just a rash of like office chairs. So Lori talked my sister and I into pushing her down the hallway running. So I don't know what year it was, but she just got a kick out of that. And I think that that just shows the spirit of Lori, always up for fun and craziness. So let me get to what I kind of wrote a little bit. Sorry about that. And I don't know if everyone here knows my relation or what, but my father was Lori's cousin, shared by Tony. Well, yeah, Tony's side, Tony Santarelli, your grandpa's side. So let's see if I can find it. Sorry. Okay. One thing that always stood out to me was how she was never still. She was always looking for something new, something meaningful, and something that she could be passionate about. She just didn't go through life quietly, but she lived it with curiosity and heart. No matter what she was chasing or working on, family was always very, very important to her. She believed in staying connected and getting everyone together and making sure that the new generations that came after us knew where they came from. That meant a lot of her, and honestly, it's a big reason why we are all here today. I think that says everything about who Lori was. She cared about roots, she cared about stories, and she cared about all of us. So I think maybe the best way that we could do to honor her is to continue on these sparse family reunions, have good food, and have good fun, and just share happy stories and even embarrassing ones or funny ones of her. So
I like that, Becky.
yeah.
Yeah. I was just you're talking about kind of her excitement for life, and one of the things that Debbie and I had written down to talk about was just um, she loved these retreats. She'd go on these church retreats all the time, all the time. And Cecil, I think, got a little tired of going on those. But I told my mom, I said, Mom, you're always in retreat mode. You got to be on offense sometime.
Yes.
You're backing up. But we,
Right.
one of the really cool things that we did, and just plays a real special part in our lives, is they were in their 80s, upper 80s, and I know we had taken Amber and Jessica and Alicia 3 separate trips to Disney World because there was just too many people if we brought everybody together. So all the families we did 3 separate trips. And my mom said, I want to go on a trip to Disney World too. So we said, okay, so we'll do another trip. And luckily we had an annual pass at that time. But when we got to Disney World, I thought that we were going to be like pushing them around in a wheelchair, or we'd get a scooter, something like that, and we'd be able to see all the other people having a great time. Boy, were we wrong. all they wanted to do, they weren't in a wheelchair or a scooter the entire time. And all they wanted to do was the fastest rides there, and they wanted to do them over and over again. So here you got this old couple that got their hands up. They're going through these off Splash Mountain and the Runaway Mine and everything else, and it was just the coolest thing to see them. So here we had this vision in our mind that they were too old to do that. And we were just completely wrong. They just loved it and had the funnest time. And so we look back at those pictures of Cecil and Mom together and enjoying the fun times that we had there. And so that was that was really a special time for us. Um, let's see. Now, is Mark, are you on, Mark Santarelli? I, I see he's there but not there. So why don't Rexine? I know you have some stories. Would you like to tell a story about your time with Mom? And I know you're a real dear friend to her and did a lot of things to make her life, especially at the end, a lot you know, just very special.
Well, thank you. I just, she was just charming, classy lady, and always had a smile and would be so positive and so grateful for our time and things together. I am glad she was in my life. Uh, we enjoyed doing different things. I don't know if you see a picture. I had this made up for her with some of the things that we did, and she would uh, enjoy going to church with me. And one of the first things when she came was the deacons were passing the sacrament, and she was just, these are young men who were 12, 14 years old, and she would just say, "Aren't they precious?" And she was just so impressed that they were so well dressed and everything was reverent and beautiful. And little children that she would see, she'd have to stop and tell everyone their babies were so beautiful. And she would talk to people, and got to know people and was very impressed with the speakers and the message they had. She loved her Bible and learning that more about the scriptures. I loved going to be with her. I had her for dinner a couple of times to my home and also took her. She liked the Olive Garden. I have never been to Olive Garden and had the waitress feel so good by the time she finished. She was so kind and complimentary. We went out for Mexican. We went to one of our favorite places there. Last Valentine's, I was with her at Happy Eats on Nevada, a sweet place. And then for her 95th birthday, took her there with some of the wonderful gals that are in our ward. And the owner there was so kind, and she was taking pictures of her and everything. And Alicia saw she became the poster gal for their restaurant with this beautiful um, arrangement of her celebrating her 95th birthday. She, on her own, had her choice and decided what she was going to do. I met her because the missionaries had asked me to come to a lesson. She had called and asked about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and that's how it all began. And she just was so bright and talented and fun. And anyway, I just was thinking about how sweet it was to be included in Cecil's funeral. And Linda, your sweet husband, just did the most beautiful, beautiful message there, and everyone there. I just was so glad to be included, and she was so kind to me. Um, we also, oh golly, how many different memories. I took her to different, um, the Forgotten Carols was playing in town as a Christmas program, and we did it even in a snowstorm, and she was so grateful and happy. Um, and then we went to presentations during Easter of things that were set up in the chapel up north that were just amazing. And she was just in awe and just loved the Savior Jesus Christ. And she always just made me laugh and how she could just look at things and be so positive. Outside, she had to stop and see the little birds and the squirrels when we'd sit outside. And honestly, she's been a great blessing to me in the last 3 years. And then I got to know that at her baptism, she took a while, and it was her own idea because at Cecil's, I may have shared with some of you that they had a lovely, it was Olive Garden that catered it. And after we had done the graveside service, came in and had a really nice luncheon. And she would take me around to each of the tables and she'd say, "This is my friend Rexine, and she's a Mormon, and I'm not going to join her church, but she's still my friend." And I would say, "And we're all Christians." Well, she was just so cute. And later on, she told me that she really had felt the Spirit and she wanted to be baptized at 94. And it was just beautiful. And I have so many sweet memories. I love Facebook. It's my gratitude journal. And honestly, I had it printed with what I'd put in, and I don't know if you can see them all, but I have pages of all the sweet things, how cute the girls were. Uh, Ella and Scarlett who sang. Uh, oh my goodness. Amber and Alicia, you were there, and then no, Jessica, right? And then it was my cute Amber that I got to know there at the end. And this was something that, I mean, life can just change so quickly. This was December 2nd when I went up and had a lunch with her. And the next week, it was Alicia who was here. And just like her grandma, the room was decorated with Dollar Tree, and we wore our little blinking lights, headbands, and it was just such a sweet memory of everything. I was on my way and in the airport on December 11th to see my daughter in Salt Lake area and got the message that our sweet Lori had passed away. But I want to tell you, every single time, Linda and Scott, she would tell me how wonderful her daughter and her son were to her and how much she loved them and you all and your grandchildren. And it was just so fun to see the things that you did and helping and making her life a very happy time. And I just loved her a lot and was glad I could be with her for her 95th birthday and all the other sweet memories that we all cherish because she was and is a wonderful, wonderful person who's still with us, looking over after us. And I know she's so happy with her reunion that she was able to have and has in heaven. And I thank you for being so kind to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rexine. So there's two individuals that are on here that we haven't heard from, but they are two of my mom and Cecil's dearest friends from way back. Jeannie, we see you there. And is there anything that you'd like to say? Because I know you had many, many experiences with my mom. Let's see, we can't hear you. I don't I don't think your microphone's on. Let's see. You can work on that. Maybe I think your daughter was there. She might be able to help you. And Lois, are you there? Lois, you're muted.
Oh dear.
Let's see. Just heard somebody on. Um, all right. So Lois or Jeannie? All right. Still can't hear you. Um, I'll just tell just a really quick story. My mom loved the Broadmoor Hotel. I know sometimes Linda and Kenny would get them certificates to go up to the Broadmoor and spend a night or two at the Broadmoor, and that was really sweet of them. But she loved, if you know the Broadmoor, there's a big lake there. And she loved going around that lake. So we have many, many pictures of her there. And also Alicia and Dallin were that's where they had their wedding reception. And it was so beautiful. She would comment
Mm.
on that all the time. Uh, the bridge that you would go over and the place that was there. So that was really special to her. Um, and she loved the garden room because it had a beautiful, beautiful mural of Paris that she would enjoy. Um, let's see, Jeannie, did you figure it out?
I guess we're not on anymore.
Not yet. Okay, that's okay.
Hey,
All
Dad,
right.
why don't we try to share our screen for you, Jeannie, real fast? We'll share the screen and maybe you can follow how to check your audio. Okay. Okay. Got my helper here. No, no. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna share our screen because I know, Jeannie, I'm sure you want to here, let me. I'm sure you want to say a few things. Okay.
Oh, you're doing something I don't know how to do for somebody else.
Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You'll just have to click the drop down beside the microphone. It'll be in the bottom left.
And then if you go to select a microphone here, mine is on my MacBook.
So, and if nothing's showing up and you can't do that, then you can go to switch to phone audio and it'll give you a phone number to dial into.
Hey
Okay.
Alicia, you're sharing your home screen, not your Zoom screen.
Can you see anything? Can you see
Oh,
us?
that's right. It's not showing the
Oh,
Zoom features.
shoot. Okay. Oh,
If you click the arrow beside the microphone,
When Lois got on, because I don't
where it says audio.
you can click switch to phone audio and it will bring up a phone number you can call and dial into.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, is there anybody else? Anybody else have any more stories? Anything that you wanted to tell that you haven't been able to tell so far? And Jeannie, we really do appreciate you and Lois are just absolute saints to my mom, and you had so many neat experiences with her and Cecil. So we appreciate all the years that you were great friends with them. Um, any other experiences before we call it quits?
Can I be heard yet? No, huh?
I
Oh,
think
there
we
you are,
said,
Jeannie.
Yeah, I pushed a button.
yay.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did, but I just went whizzing through there somehow and picked a different microphone. I don't know. I'll make it very brief because I do want to be here for Lori because we have so many years together, and we just shared moments that a lot of you have shared, but your family, so it's different, you know. We were friends, and she always encouraged me. I give her credit for encouraging me to have women's retreats and to do Bible studies in my home. And the Lori I knew was just seeking not a religion. The one I knew, she was seeking a close relationship with God and through His Son. And so she was really reaching out all the time, learning more and wanting more. And just I had her in my home for about a month with Cecil when they moved out of their house, and we had some precious moments there. And he was just as excited as her when we shared the Bible and read it together. He did, "Oh, Lori, look at what that said, Lori." And then she'd get excited, and they get excited about just beautiful things, you know. So she was always seeking, and I know God has shed His love on her, and she took that love and she shared it with me and with all of you. And you know, the last moment was that whatever I saw you share today was what she was doing at the Broadmoor. The last time I was with her, smiling at people, complimenting them, saying, "Oh, you have a beautiful little baby." And the last group that came by were two men, and she said, "Oh, we're sitting at a bench outside the Broadmoor." And she said, "What are you doing here? What do you do?" And they said, "Well, we're security men, and we're looking for two old crazy women that are on the loose." And Lori said, "Oh, well, they went that way." So just immediately came back, "Well, they went that way." And of course the guys laughed, you know, about that. But yeah, I had precious times with her, and I know she loved everybody. And like you said, everything that was said is true. She smiled all the time, even when she was hurting. So other than that, I have been blessed to be a friend of hers.
That's so cool. I know you did a lot of parties there together.
Yeah, we did. She loved to, I'm a party woman and she's a party woman. We love to plan parties. She always had me come over with my violin to her backyard, and she had me play my violin at her backyard parties, or she'd bring in another musician, you know, could play piano. And she liked to entertain her friends, you know what I mean? She just loved it. Yeah, she just loved it.
Okay. Well, thank you. And then Craig, I know we can't see you, but you wanted to share.
Oh, shoot, Kenny. Oh, it must have.
Hey, everybody. So I'm sort of the black sheep of the family, but I just want to share some happy memories of my mom. Well, she did teach me how to work. I'm grateful for that, and I'll always be appreciative of that. I've got a successful business in San Diego and in Texas, and I'm grateful for my mom for when I was in high school teaching me how to work and being an entrepreneur. My 6 children that I have and my 15 grandchildren, I've taught them those practices as well, how to work hard, and I'm proud of each and every one of them. And they're all very successful and loving people. I actually, in my lifetime with my mom, growing up, I never really had a happy memory of her. But I did want to have one happy memory of my mom, and I did make it a big point to go see her and connect with her when she was in her nursing home in Colorado Springs. And that was a happy memory for me. I'm grateful that she had so many friends that loved her, and that Linda and Kenny's kids had happy memories. That's really awesome, and that means a lot to me. I guess that's about it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Craig. Any other comments before we sign off? Want to just want to thank everybody for.
What?
Oh, Gary? Did
Yeah,
you have something?
I wanted
Yeah.
to say hi to Craig. Hi,
Oh.
Craig.
That's
It's,
cool.
not, it's nice to hear your voice.
Hi, I'm
That's
sorry.
all.
Hey, is that Gary?
That's
Yeah, it
Gary.
is.
Gary, you maniac. I tell you, the last time I saw you, Gary, you had long hair, and I think you played in a rock band. I remember you played a guitar when we when we lived when we lived in Glendale. And yeah, I'd love to connect with you sometime. That'd be great.
Give me a call. It's really nice to hear your voice.
Nice to hear your voice too.
All right. Well, I think we need to take Becky's advice and make sure that we're staying in touch with each other. And we'll have to plan something where we can do that because life is too short, right?
That's
Well,
right.
you never know how much time you have. So thank you so much. I know that this meeting meant a lot to our mom. And she's up in heaven right now looking down and so thankful for each of you. So thanks for taking the time out of your Sunday evening and we'll talk soon.
Everybody.
Bye,
Um,
guys.
Bye bye.
Scott, one thing,
Bye.
Doug's sorry that he couldn't make it, so he's working, so he's sorry he couldn't make it, Doug.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
anyway, bye everyone. It's really good to see you all.
Bye bye.
Oh,